Hey there, doing a video about one of these simple little runs that I've been able to put together this spring. This is putting this video together, one for the purpose of selling some of these, but also for the purpose of people being able to copy the design and kind of recreate their own. So this is designed attached to this particular coop. So just looking at it, it's one where the design for this is one where I offset the door a little bit, but I still kind of keep it towards this gated side. That allows enough clearance for the door to swing and for the ladder to come out. The door still has the ability to shut and lock if you needed to, but this is designed to be a secure run, where, if you wanted to, you could even add, add a perimeter of buried fencing or an L of fencing, stop predators from digging in. This gives a strong foundation for you to either zip tie in those lighter weight wires, or to just use it as is. Anyway, as we keep going through this is right now, I only have it temporarily held together with just 2 screws. That's because I want you to be able to see each individual panel. For example, I intentionally kind of left this loose so you can see that this is an end panel, and the end panel fits nicely together with these 2 side panels and then the roof panel. The roof panel is just 2x4s that are ripped, and the whole thing has the welded wire, 2-inch by 4-inch welded wire as a foundation. Again, if somebody really wanted to put smaller dimensional hardware cloth on it, they could, but they have a strong foundation now to tie into that. And so as we keep looking at it, this is one where when I do install it, the roof part is only held in by either 2 or 6 screws. That allows this so that if the customer wanted to, did want to stand up and clean in there and do a really good cleaning, they could. They just pop out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and the roof itself, you can see I can lift it with one hand. Is there the option to maybe put hinges on this or something like that? Yeah, sure. The homeowner could totally do that. You could make it so that, this hinges up and then you could walk in. You could make this end wall an actual gate that swings. But in all honesty, it's, how often do you go into your chicken run? You find that once you have chickens, you don't end up going in there too often. It's muddy. It's got fresh poop in there. It is one of those things where with time, the rains and everything wash out the run and clean out the run for you. But, you should be designing this for egg access and feed access. Everything should be accessible from one main door in your coop. So again, just looking at the design, this is about 4 feet tall, about 8 feet long. All the dimensions are just shy of 4 feet and 8 feet. So that, as you're putting the pieces together, you'd be able to use an 8-foot piece. You wouldn't need anything that's 8 foot 2 inches. The largest piece you would need would be something that's 8 feet, and that's actually this board right here. So as we go through, this one is basic in that it's just got one gate on it. That's just to reduce the cost, reduce the effort to build this. I'm a 6 foot tall person. I can scoot in here. I can, come in and crawl in if I need to. But then again, nobody really wants to go into their run unless they have to. The run is a safe place for your chickens. So again, looking at this is 1, 2, 3, 4 panels all together. I sell this as a kit that the homeowner could install and attach to an existing coop, or as attached to this coop and everything. Talking about roofs and everything, some people want to put a roof on their coop. Adding a gabled roof just gets mathematically complicated. I'm a math teacher. I can do it, but it's just more material, more expense, especially getting the roof lines to kind of match and tie in together nicely. Doing a flat open roof is fine for most of the time. What's the biggest problem that you might have? You might have snow that gets you know, piled up in there. So what could you do? You could, you know, if we're going on the cheap here, you know, the cheapest thing would be, well, to leave it alone, but the cheapest thing that would cover it would be to maybe put a tarp over the top, or plastic. And that could be something that you constantly refresh, you know, out throughout the seasons as it gets, you know, torn up in the wind. If you take it a step further, you could take the corrugated metal roof and just lay them flat. You know, that's not going to be that bad to come on over and to just clear off snow with your hand off the top of that. You know, a foot of snow on top of this. I'm sure the structure, you know, built out of 2x4s and everything could hold a foot of snow. But it's one of those things where I wouldn't want the snow just sitting there. I wouldn't want, you know, the whole thing to possibly break, or to get, not break, but to get warped or damaged to the point where maybe the gates don't function or something like that. So you could totally just take 2 8-foot panels of metal roofing and just run it along here. That would be you know, the next cheapest option. That'd probably be about $50 all said and done for you to do it on your own. So yeah, the whole point of this video is to show you how simple it can be for you to build a 4-foot by 8-foot run. And of course, this is modular. You know, this is just looking at one design. You can totally extend this and make this further. And I am an advocate for not making runs so tall that you can walk into them. Again, I have chickens. I've had them for years, and I never really want to go into the run. And you know, my run is way over here, and it doesn't even have a top on it. It just becomes an area where, hey, it's for the livestock, it's for the chickens. So why waste the materials? Why also make this something where it's like really heavy to move if you ever needed to move it? So just to end the video, this is one where when I'm getting ready to deliver this coop and set it up in the customer's yard, the wheels are just temporary. They're just so I can get them on the trailer and off and wheel it right to the spot where I need it. I have a whole nother video on those wheels. It's a quick one. And this is fenced in. Again, no gates under here because it's just to add in a little extra space here. Nobody really wants to crawl in under there. If you did have a problem with chicken in the back there, yeah, this is 2 feet tall. You can get in there and crawl in there. There's just like, why put in the extra expense of another gate at the end? You could put another gate on underneath the coop. We can have gates all over the place, but that's just personal preference. Once the wheels come off, the coop lowers, and then I would actually be screwing this directly to the coop. You know, so it becomes one solid structure. You'll see that there's a runner board down along here that connects each of the end walls. There'll also be another runner board across the top here underneath this roof piece. And then over here again, you've got the end wall. So basically securing this, you've got this, you've got this one, this panel, and I just come in and go do with a few screws. Honestly, it doesn't take much to hold a structure like this together. If you're using some good quality decking screws, you know, probably like 3 or 4 screws here would be fine. I mean, honestly, I put more than that, but it'd be fine. You know, in the whole scheme of things, this isn't going to catch a lot of wind, like the structure, you know, the coop and everything with a roof like that, unless you put something on the top up here to cover it. Then it becomes something where you really do want to batten it down because of the wind could get up and under it and pick the whole thing up. So, all right, I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes. There we go. We got this nice little run. Again, it's kind of modular. If you needed to expand it and make it bigger, this gives you the basic template of how to extend it and make it a little bit bigger. And I'll just end by kind of showing details of the door. Simple. These are 2x4s that are ripped in half. And really these corner braces are screwed in because they're cut with 45-degree angles, and because this is stapled right along the perimeter, it all holds its shape and keeps it square.